Hello everyone, and welcome to another video where I sit on my bed and talk to my camera instead of actually exploring the country that I'm in. Because today I'm going to discuss why I travel. Because it's quite different, I think, than why normal people travel. And if you actually have been waiting for proper travel vlogs of me going places, that kind of has to wait for a little while because me and my boyfriend are both very busy. We're working basically opposite hours as well, so I don't have the time on the weekends anymore to go out and explore. And here in Australia I just feel less comfortable doing that on my own, which I discuss in a different video. I'll link it up here. Instead you're getting a video of me talking about myself, which sounds very egocentric and self-centered, which is kind of appropriate for this video because the whole reason that I travel is pretty self-centered. I'll get to that in a moment. So firstly, the whole reason that I went abroad in the first place is a little bit a different story, which I actually told in a different video. Sorry, I keep referring you guys to other videos, but this is a video I made about how YouTube changed my life, and this is basically the main reason why I wanted to go abroad. Because I saw these people on YouTube moving abroad and trying something out of their comfort zone and basically finding themselves in a different culture. And I wanted to try that as well. Because I have always felt really at home at the English language, which kind of sounds weird, but I've always felt very comfortable speaking English and expressing myself in English, and it even goes past the whole being a teenager and having an English description on your MSN profile, because yes, I did that as well. But I also found that sometimes, even in conversations, I found it easier to express myself, my feelings and my thoughts in English instead of Dutch. Which kind of led me to wanting to be in an English culture, which is why I chose the UK to do my year abroad. And when I went to the UK, I actually found that it felt really easy for me to be there. I didn't struggle with the language, I hardly struggled with the culture, just like little bits and bobs, but just as a normal human being I fit in fine. And I felt so comfortable being in that country, you know. I would jump in my car, I would just drive anywhere. I felt safe driving there, I felt safe exploring by myself. I went on hikes and I just had the best time ever, basically. And now we kind of get to the self-centered reason of why I travel. Because one of the main things that I really liked about being in England was the fact that I was a foreigner there. So what was more important to me than, you know, seeing the country and experience the culture was the fact that I was special there. And it's actually kind of hard for me to tell this, but I've always had this certain desire to be special. And I think everyone has that to a certain point. You want to be the hero of your own story. But I had like at a certain level that I wasn't content with the life that I had in the Netherlands. And then when I went to England, there was just a little bit of, oh, where you're from, you know. And that was basically what I had been looking for, that little bit of specialness of just being out of place and having, well, not a special purpose, but being kind of like special in that environment. And the only thing that I had to do for that was be a foreigner. So I basically just had to move to a different country where I already spoke the language anyway, and voila, that was it. That was the feeling that I had been looking for. And there we have it. That's kind of the whole reason why I want to travel, is when I'm abroad, I am a foreigner, and that makes me special. I'm not liking this angle. That's better. So I actually think that I'm a very bad traveler. So I have mentioned this a million times on my channel, but I never traveled much before I went abroad for a year. I had no experience with planning a trip and being abroad and traveling and all those kind of things. I had no clue. Even when I was in England, I would kind of Google Maps things that would be an hour drive away, and the one trip that I specifically planned was Wales. But other than that, I didn't go to Scotland, I didn't go to Ireland, I didn't even like go to the south or anything like that. You know, I wasn't there to see the sights and travel the country. I was there to be abroad, basically. And it sounds like such a shallow thing to say, but that's kind of my whole reason to travel, is to be abroad, not to see the sights. And that is something that I'm finding here now as well, that now I'm in Australia. All the travelers that are in Australia are here to see the sights and like travel east and west and see all of Australia. I'm here to be with my boyfriend. You know, I'm not here to travel the whole country. It's part of it, but I don't have that desire to see everything there is to see. Obviously I want to experience things, but it's not a main concern for me. Just being abroad is satisfactory for me. I actually prefer building stability in this foreign country than to like put all my belongings in a backpack and travel. Lately I've really been missing England, and I don't know if that was because it was my first country that I lived in abroad and the first company that I worked in and stuff. So like I would complain a lot about my work when I was there because it was exhausting, but I just have such fond memories of it, and I miss the people there, and I miss the stability of the job that I had, and I miss the career path that I was building. But I also miss the country and the freedom that I felt there, because now that I'm here, I all of a sudden feel a lot more afraid, because this environment is a lot different than the Netherlands and the UK was. The UK is still pretty close to home, and as I mentioned before, I don't travel to experience, you know, mainly those differences and see the sights and all those kind of things. I travel to be abroad and feel like a foreigner. That sounds really weird to say, but it's kind of the main point. Another thing is basically everyone here is a foreigner. You know, Melbourne is such a mix of cultures that no one raises an eyebrow if you're foreign here. Oh, God, I sound like such an egoistic person. Egocentric, not egoistic. So for my visa, I have to do the specialized work or the farm work, however you want to call it. And we're kind of looking into getting started around June. Do the 3 months, be done with it, and then find something a little bit more long term. Because we are both looking for that stability, having a job for a longer time, maybe renting a house for a year, something like that. This is basically a very long video to just tell you that the real reason that I travel is to be abroad and to feel special in a place where I technically don't belong. And it sounds so weird and egocentric to say it, but I do have to admit that that is, especially in the beginning, that was the main reason why I went abroad. And now the main reason that I am in Australia is my boyfriend, not to travel the country. If he had lived in Indonesia or America or Canada, I would have followed him there. And I think that at this point that's also my weak point, because I don't really have a goal here. I kind of feel lost. So at this point I just want to focus on getting my farm work done, and then we'll see what we do after that. Now I hope you guys don't think of me as a terrible person now that I've told you this very selfish reason of wanting to be abroad. I hope some of you kind of can relate to the fact that like, I feel so at home in a different language, because I actually talked to my aunt about this and she had the same thing as well, even though she never like acted upon it and moved abroad. So I know there are people out there who have the same thing with either English or a different language, that they just feel more at home in a language that's not actually their native language. That's enough of me rambling. It's probably not really interesting to anyone, but I wanted to use this channel for why I started it, which is keeping my friends and family updated, and this is what's on my mind at the moment, so there you are. If you did enjoy it, leave me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my face, hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye! For what the easy for me, easy.